back in the car with me at school pickup again. This is becoming a thing. Hi guys, it's Emily from Australian Frugal here, back with another video for you all. This is gonna be a mishmash, I'm sure, but I'm definitely doing some bulk dry mixes, which I just finished before I ran to do this school one, and now I'm doing this intro. I did cornbread, I did pancake slash waffle mix, which, you know, you just adjust the wet ingredients for, and like a basic muffin mix that I'm just going to add my mix-ins to and make it whatever it needs to be. But I've been really sick lately. I've been meaning to do this for ages, but I've been really sick lately, and today I've been feeling, actually last 2-3 days I've been feeling a bit better, so I thought I'd capitalize on this energy and my lack of horrific symptoms to get some of these easy things done and not push myself too hard. But I got the bulk mixes done. There's probably a grocery haul because I'm always buying groceries. Kids don't stop eating. And there's probably a chat. Also, I'm so sorry about last month. A really bad flare up. I only got 2 videos out in the entire month. The goal is for May, everything willing, that I'm going to do 2 videos a week from now on, because we discussed that. I'm thinking Tuesday and Friday. Drop below if you have a preferred day. I just thought Tuesday and Friday might be good because then there's a nice gap for editing and for everything to go wrong in the middle and then me to pull it together at the end, basically. Anyway, don't forget, if you like this kind of content, especially if you like chaotic content, because that's what this is going to be at the moment, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, click the little notification bell to be notified when I post new videos, which will be twice a week, thinking Tuesday and Friday again. Yeah, we're almost at 5,000, which would be super cool. And yeah, so yeah, I'm back and I'm here to chat with you. So stay tuned for that. I just got back from Woolworths. I had a little bit of money set aside, and because I've been so sick lately, which I'm sure you will have noticed, especially with the lack of uploads, I've been planning on doing some bulk dry mixes to make my life easier when I want to make something when I have very little energy, but also I'm going to put some instructions on here and make it like super duper easy, like I have it written down, but like 1 cup of dry mix to 1 cup of milk with 50 grams of butter, etc., or whatever it is. So that my husband and even my kids can make what they want or what I want them to make. So I'm gonna make cornbread mix, which I'm gonna do in this. This is small because I decided that I make cornbread out of polenta, and the polenta I buy comes in a 750 gram bag, not a kilo bag. So I did my math based on using 1 bag rather than like having to like use an awkward amount. So 750 grams of of polenta will go in this, and then all of the other ingredients, and then this will be enough bulk mix to make X amount of cornbread muffins or cornbread. I'm also going to do a pancake slash waffle mix. I'm going to have instructions for pancakes, which will be pretty much the same as waffles, except for waffles will require more milk to make the mix thinner. And then I'm going to do like a basic muffin mix, basically like those you know, those packets of vanilla and butter cake mixes that you can buy. Like they used to be 80 cents. I think they're a couple of dollars now at Woolies. Kind of like that, like a really basic one, and then I can adjust the flavors when I make it. So it'll be like a basic muffin mix, and then I can add chocolate chips to make it chocolate chip muffins, or I can add apple and cinnamon to make them apple and cinnamon muffins, or blueberries, etc. So like a basic muffin mix. And again, on it, X amount of muffin mix to X amount of wet ingredients. And then the cooking instructions. So that's my plan. I did want like stand-up tall porry containers, and I was thinking about buying them on Temu, but I didn't want to. You need to have like $50 for shipping for that. And I figured if I got them from Woolies, which I did, that I could use my 10% off and get the points, or use my reward dollars to invest in the containers that I need. I do have a little bit of flour at home, not much, and I have sugar and everything else at home that I need. I also have the polenta and everything, but I did grab some extra flour because I worked out like one of these takes like 2.2 kilos of flour, the other one's like 2.5, and then that one's like a kilo. So I got 4 kilos of flour to use with what I have at home to make this, and I have about an hour before I have to go and get in line for pickup. So I thought I would knock up at least the cornbread and try and knock out the other ones. I'm pretty sure I have all the ingredients. And then later on I'm going to test it and make up like the tags for it. I've written down everything that's going on the tag, so I know all of my measurements for how to make it. I know all my measurements for how to like make the individual batches, if that makes sense. But I want to make like physically write out cards and like tape them on, or I might get my lovely mother-in-law to like print me a vinyl, which would be nice. At the moment, doing voiceovers is really hard, so I'm just going to talk to you while I record. But this is my waffle mix. My bulk mix is written out. The cornbread is my standard cornbread recipe, just scaled up to use a whole bag of polenta instead of, and not waste any. So there it is. And then per batch, I use 350 grams, 1 cup of milk, and 50 grams of butter. So really dry mix milk and butter, and I can make it. Yeah, 2 cups and 4 tablespoons of dry mixed wet ingredients. So I put the cups and the grams there because sometimes I weigh, sometimes I don't. Sometimes my husband weighs, sometimes he doesn't. So I've got cups and weights. Muffin mix is over here. There you go. 3 cups of mixed, 1 cup milk, 1 egg, 1/3 oil or butter, 1/3 of a cup it should be. And then we have the bulk mix and the cooking instructions. 180, bake for 18 to 22 minutes, or 160 on fan bake. I usually just wait until I can smell it and it's golden brown. Waffle and cake mix. So I've written out the pancake mix here as usual, and then the adjustments for waffles is that instead of 1.5 cups of milk, we use 1 3/4 cups of milk, and this egg stays the same, but instead of it being oil or butter, 2 tablespoons, it's all oil, because then you get a crispier pancake rather than with the butter. So that's what I've written out. If you wanted to screenshot that, you are welcome to. I will probably make a graphic of these and post them onto my Instagram anyway. So yeah, I'm going to now measure this out. I think I'm going to cheat. I mean, these say 2 kilos on them. I mean, they should have 2 kilos in them, right? So my plan is just to dump, like for one of the mixes, I need 2.5 kilos. For another mix, I need 2.2. So if I dump one of these bags in each of these containers and then measure out 200 more grams for one and 500 more grams for the other, it should be correct, yes? I did get self-raising flour because I have baking flour powder and I have bicarb soda in the cupboard, so I can make self-raising flour. I just wasn't sure I was going to have enough plain flour. So I need 500 grams of self-raising flour. Yeah, 550 grams of self-raising flour for the cornbread, and I usually just make my own, but I figured I would cheat again and just do 550 of that and throw it together, make it quick and easy. So that's what I'm going to do. My 750 gram bag of polenta, although this says it's only 735. Close enough, should be close enough. I'm going to dump that in there. Self-raising flour, sugar and salt. So let's do this. Kick the cat off the freaking counter because he's interested, and I'm just trying to get my scales to work because they're finicky. I need new ones, but I'm cheap. Alright, so I'm going to use the salt lid, and we're going to tear that 4.5 grams. Let's see how much that is. Yeah, I know. You've been fed. Alright, that's 5 grams. Close enough. Okay, cool. And then we need 220 grams of sugar, which is just about a cup, and then 550 grams of self-raising flour. 220 grams of sugar. Alright, and 550 grams of self-raising flour. Alright, close enough, close enough. That's 555. Cool. Am I sieving any of this? No. Hey, I think I did that exactly right, which means I have plenty of room to shake it up. And for the scoop, this is a 3-liter container, and this was meant to make, I think, if I remember off the top of my head, like 2.7, 2.6. So, shake, shake, shake. We'll be back. It's pretty well mixed all the way around. I need one of them paint shakers, so I'm going to put this in there, which I think is a 1/2 cup. And for this mix, I use 2 cups and 4 tablespoons. I will work out what 4 tablespoons is, and if it's close to 1/2 cup, and I might just do 2.5 cups. But no, perfect. I'm going to pop that in there. Now we're going to move on to the next one. We're going to do pancakes and waffles next, which is 2.2 kilos of flour. So again, I'm going to cheat, and I'm just going to put the entire bag of flour, 2 kilo bag of flour in, and then just weigh out 200 extra grams, because you can obviously see close enough's close enough. And that's why when people ask me for like certain recipes, I have to like go and like guess and do maths to work out how much of something I use, because a lot of the time, once I've made it a couple of times, I adjust to what we like and adjust it each time to what we have and substitutes and things, so I don't always know exactly. All right, that is 2 kilos of flour. Now I need 200 more grams of flour. And my weight has gone off again. There we go. 200 grams, confirm, yes, 200 grams. All right, whoop, just over 2. All right, 200 grams. Baking powder, bicup, salt and sugar. Well, I have salt and sugar out. I have to get the baking powder and bicup, so let's do the salt and sugar first. 2 tablespoons of salt. I'm using pink salt because that's what I've got. It's probably better for us. 2 tablespoons of salt, 1.5 cups of sugar. Where is my cup measurement gone? Here it is in the sugar. 2 cups? 1.5 cups of sugar. All right. Also, a cup in weight, if I remember correctly, is 250 grams. So 2 cups of sugar, was it? 1.5 cups of sugar should be 350? Yep, 200. 350? Yep, 350 sounds right to me in my head. Pretty sure. There you go, 1.5 cups of sugar. I did salt, sugar, I need to do bicarb and baking powder. Bicarb, which I haven't marked, I need to, and baking powder. I can't find the stand that goes with my camera. It's here somewhere. I've taken my glasses off and then I only brought my sunglasses in, and now I can't find my glasses without my glasses. All right, 6 tablespoons of baking powder. All right, I'm going to be careful with this because we all know baking powder tastes like crap. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That one was a little light. It's okay. 5, 6 tablespoons of baking powder, which I need for the next one anyway. Ugh, yeah, bicarb soda. I just tasted it to be sure. It is gross. All right, 1 level tablespoon of bicarb. If I knew where my whisk was, I'm pretty sure it's dirty. I think I used it for pancakes the other night, actually. I would whisk this to like get rid of any bumps and kind of sift it almost. But since I can't find that, I'm just going to do what I've been doing and shake it and mix it around. And with enough shaking, she should be all combined. Alright, cornbread, muffin mix. I don't have my stickers yet. My things to mark them. So that was the pancake and waffle mix. I need to mark that in some way so I don't accidentally confuse the two. Here we go again. Last one. Last bag of unopened bag of flour. This one is 2.5 kilos of flour. So again, just gonna dump my 2 kilo bag in. I haven't frozen these, which I should have, especially since I'm doing like a long-term storage situation. So I might make room in the freezer and freeze these for like a good 24 hours before I put them anywhere near my cupboards, just to make sure there's no weevils or anything in them, like eggs that'll spawn. Baking powder. We have 6 tablespoons again. No bicarb in this one, just baking powder, 6 tablespoons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I've got to use almost a whole tin of baking soda powder. 6. You guys will tell me if I accidentally counted wrong and put too much or too little, I'm sure. But 6 tablespoons of baking powder, 2 tablespoons of salt, 1, 2 tablespoons of salt, 2 cups of sugar, which should be, like we said earlier, 350 grams. So I'm just going to shake that in here. Should be it. 350 on the dot. So we have flour, baking powder, salt, and sugar. And then I can add vanilla as needed and whatever mix-ins. And for this one, it's 3 cups of mixed, 1 cup milk, 1 egg, and 1/3 of a cup of oil or butter. I'm going to put the lid on this and shake it properly. These are airtight containers. It's going to be loud and annoying. There we go. Corn flour, pancake waffle mix, muffin mix. Now I've got to get on to the tags and clean up this mess that I have made. And put everything away into airtight containers and get ready to do school run. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget again to like, comment, subscribe, click the notification bell to be notified when I post new videos twice a week, and I will catch you guys in the next video.